What's up everyone, how are you all doing today? Guided by Jesus here, bringing you a brand new Fortnite video. As you guys know, I will be on vacation for the next 7 days, so I will not be able to stream. However, I will be uploading these videos for you guys, hopefully one a day, and they should be going up at around 8 p.m. Eastern time, guys. So that's normally the time I start the streams. This way you guys have content while I'm gone. But I will be back shortly, guys. Hopefully in a week when I'm back, you guys will be with us so that we can enjoy some more awesome Fortnite streams. We're going for high kill games. This is a solo game mode right here. And most of these videos will be of 15 plus kill games. As you guys know, those are pretty rare to come across. And so I hope you guys enjoy the content. I push over to these guys as fast as possible because I didn't want them to kill each other. Unfortunately, the headshot was not enough to pick up that first elimination. I could have been at 2 right now, and these little engagements are crucial to coming with a really high kill game. Unfortunately, I was only able to get 1 out of the 2. But since that happened, guys, we want to be as fast as possible here. Quickly gonna take this lerp to get some shields, and then I'm gonna start pushing down because I do hear another opponent in this building. So now we're gonna be looking for him using third-person view here to try to look behind walls, and there he is. This third-person peek with the shotgun is extremely powerful, guys. I really do recommend it. If you don't use it already, I really do recommend it. As you can see, I'm doing it again here, and I actually heard this person. I used the gas grenade there to take out a little bit and chip away on this person's health, and now we're gonna be hunting him down. I was able to hear that he actually moved down the stairs. It's not very easy tracking your opponents when it comes to, you know, up or down. I feel like Fortnite does need to improve in that a little bit, but nonetheless, I was able to distinguish there and note that this player went down instead of up. So we did pick up that elim. That was our 3rd elimination, and we're gonna quickly push up here on these other players, trying to keep them from eliminating each other as well. Unfortunately, they ended up doing so, and so now instead of 2 elims here, we're pretty much only gonna get 1 of them. Trying to go ahead and protect myself behind covers after every single pump shot. I don't have a gun to complement my shotgun. I should have probably held that other burst to be that gun to complement my shotgun. Knowing that this guy had the right angle on me, I did go ahead and place that ramp. Right angle, guys, if you don't know already, is extremely powerful, and you have to really be careful when pushing and trying to peek on the left corner instead of the right corner. I always recommend peeking on the right corner, as I'm doing so right here, just because you hold your gun on the right side and you're able to see it a lot easier. You're able to see the right side a lot easier, and so that's why I really recommend it. So now I'm going on this engagement here with this guy. Note that I'm trying to keep myself covered after every single shot to go ahead and allow for the little delay of every shot so that I can take an extra shot, so on and so forth. This player has mats. I can only build 1, and so I'm trying to save it. And I saw an opportunity here. Unfortunately, this player is pretty good, and so he did build pretty fast there. Once again, I made the mistake of not holding on to that other burst to complement my shotgun, and I was hoping that this player would have something that would allow me to do that, but he did not. And so it would have been good to have held on to that burst, because you never know, like, I could get pushed here at any moment and caught off guard. And as you can see, during the time of playing this game, I didn't end up having time to pick up that burst, and now I find myself with another opponent. Luckily enough, I was able to go in and out of this house, finding another burst to complement my pump. So this right here is something I really like to avoid, guys. The only reason why I took the chance here is because this opponent was just standing still on top of this building, and he didn't really seem all that good. But these engagements are very like 50-50, and I really try to avoid them as much as possible because of Bloom. You never know when the game is going to favor your opponent with Bloom, and sometimes I feel like I have the reticle right on my opponent, and because of Bloom, none of my shots end up registering. I do take one of the rifts over there from Paradise Palm, which is also a really useful thing when you're going for high kill games. Landing at a location that will allow you to have a rift close by to get on to the next point of interest, etc., and find other opponents is extremely crucial. I do spot this opponent here close to this RuneScape, and he seems to be looting, so this is the perfect opportunity for me to engage him. He's actually dancing. I feel like he was probably doing that out of bad manners. He probably killed this opponent here that had this loot in the ground, and because the opponent was probably spectating him or something, he probably started dancing. I was able to find mini shields from that opponent, and then I went on to Salty, and there was no one there. So then I proceeded my way past Dusty Divot, and now I'm all the way over here at Loot Lake. I do take a shot with the Bolt Sniper, guys, at this player. Unfortunately, he did have some shields, so I do not elim him. And pay attention to what I'm going to do here, guys. This is something I really do recommend if you're going for high kill games. I do have a launch pad. Instead of just wasting the launch pad, I make sure that I make it inside the safe zone. And then that's when I'm going to ramp up and put my launch pad. Reason being is because I can still come back and visit this location and keep using this launch pad back and forth. And you will actually see me doing this later on in the game. I am playing pretty aggressive here, which allows this opponent to land a shot on me. But this is what I have to do in order to secure high kill games, because every extra second that you take with an engagement means that other opponents are dying somewhere else in the map, guys. So I do take out this opponent relatively quickly here, carelessly of whether he's going to hurt me a little bit or not. It's a chance you have to take. And earlier on, I had gotten sniped here from the northeast side, so I'm kind of cautious here of how I proceed to push towards the launch pad. And I build those pyramids because I don't have to keep jumping up and down. With the pyramids, when you run over them, it literally makes you go up and down on its own, guys. So that's why I did that. And it also provides you a little bit of cover. This player does show himself. I go for the shockwave, move there to relocate, catching him off guard. As you can see, he had already previously built. The fact that I used the shockwave and I relocated myself behind him, he was forced to give up on his position. This is definitely not the best player, guys, and I was able to take him out relatively easily without him dealing any damage to me. He does provide me with 2 big pots, which is awesome. I do later find a slurp and decide to, decide to use both big pots to get full and just hold on to the slurp instead. As you guys can see, for the 3rd time, I'm using that same launch pad. So it was crucial and very effective to have used it inside the safe zone. That is a really good tip that I definitely recommend for you guys. So I do note here that there are a lot of builds on top of this mountain. And I do see someone flying by with, probably a launch pad, rift, whatever it was. And I take a shot with my Bolt Sniper, being able to land that 105 damage to him, which is awesome, because now I definitely do have an advantage in this fight. I'm going to go ahead and use the bouncer pad to close my gap between me and him, not allowing him to really heal. And I land a really nice headshot there with the blue tactical shotgun, taking him out relatively easily. I do see that there are fresh builds now on top of that mountain that I was previously going to. And there's actually 2 players fighting. I'm going to use this technique here with the launch pad and bouncers, which allows me to get pretty much double the height. And as you guys can see, it will allow me to get on top of this mountain, whereas if I hadn't done so, I wouldn't have been able to get to the top of the mountain only with the glider, guys. So here I'm going to try to take down these structures, potentially killing both of these players by fall damage. It's really good now to break structures with the pickaxe because it doesn't make a lot of noise. and your opponents from all the way up there can't really tell that you're breaking down the structures. That's why I really don't recommend pushing way too high, guys, with builds inside a lobby. People practice builds on Playground, and it's just extremely different in a game where there's 99 other players that could shoot you down. So you got to be really careful with how high you go. And I end up finding 2 slurps here, which is awesome. Slurps are really good, a lot better than minis, big pots, or medkits in my opinion. So whenever I get the chance, I really do hold on to slurps. I do find myself another launch pad, so I'm gonna go ahead and place it. I don't need to waste a bouncer for this situation. I did get sniped here from this location, so I'm looking for this guy. Turns out he was behind the tree. I go ahead and quickly build for high ground and to protect myself. I find an opportunity to jump into his builds with a blue tactical shotgun. Whenever you do this, guys, your opponents become desperate and they really panic. And the fact that shotguns can no longer like one shot headshot you if you're at 200 HP, it is something that I find myself doing very often, just because it's very unlikely that your opponent's going to be able to, you know, acknowledge and realize exactly where you're at inside his 1x1, swap to his shotgun, and then shoot you twice for 2 headshots or something in order to kill you. By then you should have been able to take him out with, especially with like a blue tack or a drum gun. This player here was not the best because I did take a sniper shot at him from the top of the mountain, so I expected him to be a little bit more aware about my location, and he was just really lost. So I knew I could just go all out and potentially keep from other players, you know, killing each other. There's only 3 other players left here. I don't spot anyone. I did use that bouncer pad, launch pad combo again, and look just how high I was able to go. So I'm gonna continue coming back here. You know, I get a pretty good elevation here, allowing me to pretty much see the entirety of the map. So if there's anyone fighting, I'm gonna spot it. If there's anyone relocating or moving, I'm gonna spot it. And so that's what I'm looking out for, guys. I want to spot somebody and then go on to glide above them and drop on them really fast, not really giving them that much of an opportunity to react. And when I do this, I tend to try to go for high ground. In this case, I did spot this player down here. I really do recommend trying to go for high ground unless you're trying to get behind them or under blind spot. In this case, he was going towards high ground, so I felt like it was best for me to just go to his blind spot, because I would be able to take out a lot of health from him prior to him, you know, trying to react. For endgame, I think that rockets are a lot more important than snipers. That's why I switch there from rocket to a sniper. Unfortunately, I had my cozy instead of my traps, so I wasn't able to quickly trap that opponent. I do choose to use a slurp just because it's so fast to pop, and during the entirety of this fight here, I would end up, you know, regenning and gaining more and more health. Because the storm is closing in, I don't want to allow the final player to get a really advantageous spot, especially with me being outside the safe zone. I proceed to, you know, move towards the new safe zone as soon as possible without really caring much that there were minis back there, especially since I do have a cozy and another slurp. I do spot this player now. Not very smart of him. If I were him, I would have pushed more towards the center of the safe zone, and I would have definitely built a lot better cover than just this set of ramps over here, guys. So because I saw that he wasn't like the best player possible, I do decide to just push him very aggressively here and close out this game as fast as possible. We're currently at 15 kills. If we can take him out, it will be a 16 kill win. He keeps on trying to build up, so I'll just take him down with the rockets and chip away damage on him with the drum gun. Very good, the drum gun to break down structures and deal massive DPS, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to leave a like if you did. It really does help out the channel. Share your comments down below. I do my very best to read and answer every single one of them. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications to not miss a single upload.